Thank you for being here. If you could, if you have some water next to you and maybe some tissues if you need them, quiet space, take a good deep breath. Perhaps you've come with an intention. Perhaps something will come up during this session. So remain focused and breathe. Let us breathe into our heart spaces. Notice yourself, notice your body, relax anything that may be tense. We say it like that because sometimes it's not so easy, but we breathe and remain present. Time is now and we're here. There's nowhere to go. Breathe. Sense. Sense into your space right now. Relax your stomach if it's tense. If you need to, as you're breathing right now, just imagine lungs in your heart space as you're breathing in to your heart space. We let the out breath out, and it relaxes the body some more. It's nice to be. The world is noisy these days. As we're breathing here and right now, consciously aware, it's all in the awareness as we breathe. There's no business for anything else. Besides this present moment, be present with whatever arises. It's perfect. as you gently smile on your face. Why not? Sometimes it lightens the perspective you may have as you're breathing. Those of you new to the space, if you could just imagine being in a space out in nature. Perhaps you have a space of childhood place you liked or place you like now. It could be anywhere. You can make it up. Remember your intention. If you don't have one, that's fine. Thank you for being here as we're connecting into our heart spaces right now. It takes a little bit of what you would call your time and space to get it just right. Ah, you may feel lonely now in these times, unlike you've ever felt before. Perhaps you've adjusted to that. There's no expectation for any adjustment as we just be present right now. The heart space is enough, and just being relaxed with the breath and joined together and still be sovereign in your space. Yes, we are one, but we're all unique signatures and frequencies and representations of all that is, and nothing like you. You, the consciousness that's smiling right now as you breathe. So let's join it together in your special place there. You close your eyes. You don't need to. Some people like to have their eyes open. You keep breathing. Take 3 good deep breaths into the lungs and let that out breath out. The out breath, pause if you need to on your breath of choosing. Could be a few breaths out as you're listening and breathing. Stop on the out breath and then breathe in again. And relax and welcome. Is always present. You were born now, you live now, and you'll die now. Now. And, well, you guessed it. Now, this place, this realm that we call Earth, we move about in animation. We're animated. We give life to the physical. What's so rushed and what's the anxiety of getting out of here? Let's journey deeper here. Let's go and put our roots down. Some of you are going, oh, no, no, no. Keep breathing, by the way. Oh, no, no, I'm trying to pull those up. Well, good, then you do that. You can jump out of the space if you need to, or have fun with this very now movement. We're very present, but we're going to take a journey inside of our consciousness. That which has been depleted, deprived is a better word for most of humanity. And you could say that this is kind of a luxury to be in this space, because there's a lot of people, as you know, that don't have the sight. And if you're new to this, just allow. Don't try to push. And if your brain comes in, that's okay. Just knows that's why this is being said. The brain thinks a lot. Breathe. So we go back to the breath. And we realized we didn't go anywhere at all. But yet we went in a movement. It's not a destination, so it's the words are choosy here. Breathe. Oh. So here you are in your special place. Could be on the beach or the forest, maybe up against a tree or like a cave or the desert or, you know, the ice somewhere in the Arctic. Maybe the surface of the sun, the inner sun, your space here. As you're breathing deeply, the only thing you want to get out of this space is you got more oxygen today, and so be it. We know it's 100% guaranteed that you'll be more acquainted with your breath. You are in your space. You ground yourself there, sitting on the ground somewhere, or maybe on the wherever you are, just look down, breathe. Remember, if you need to get up to go to the bathroom at any time, do so. There's a recording for this, so don't rush yourselves. Let us bring a fire. You could snap your fingers. If you don't snap fingers and you can't snap your fingers, imagine you snapping your fingers and you have a fire lit right in front of you as you're breathing. Be creative. You created creation, so don't short yourself of being imaginative with how your fire looks and is. Perhaps it just comes in a different way than you're used to. Allow that and breathe. Ah. And if we could, just join each other in our spaces. So there you are alone. You're not alone anymore. We're all with you. Breathe. You might feel a slight switch, but not crowded. like unconscious human beings do when they sit next to you in public and they don't have any energetic boundaries. This is different. We all do here in the space. Bless your hearts. Thank you. Namaste. So you perceive the mural. I'm getting up now here in your space, and I'm going to go around counterclockwise. And I have, as you know, my counsel how this works. Right? Nothing outside the self. But then there's the second circle. And so this second circle is joining in. Let's just breathe. You might feel some sensations, maybe perhaps on the back of your skull or up towards that part of your body. No fear. You're safe, very much loved, present. There's nowhere to go. So there's no having to face any fears or keep yourself safe or try to and try to reach any kind of state of being to go to heaven. So right here, let's just breathe. As I go around each one of you. And you'll know, you'll know. And so we have a whole crew of medicine peoples that have been wanting to come into the space for a while now. So I am. Breathe into your heart space. We want each one of you to bring in a loved one, perhaps one that's helping you right now. Someone that's close to you, one that you can bring up. Perhaps it's a part of yourself that you feel safe with and love so much. If you could do that now as you're breathing, bring them close into your heart space. In fact, invite them into the circle and sit them right to the left of you and breathe. Good deep breaths into your stomach, up into your heart space, and your breath of choosing, and your in breath. Sometimes it's good to let an ah or an sound out with the out breath. It relaxes the body more. If you have any tension, utilize that and breathe. Relax. Just notice your partner here, not us. Well, yeah, but notice the one that you brought in. Let's do a nice bow to them. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for enlightening me that it's okay to stay here. I don't necessarily need to leave because I'm so lonely. Some of you needed to hear that. Some of you don't. You'll know. Breathe. Keep breathing. And if you can, notice your surroundings here in the space, waking you up a little bit, bringing your attention back here again. Breathe. The attention creates the movement. No attention, no movement. No attention doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means no movement. Bring your awareness to the fire and breathe. Eh, eh. Put your pain in the fire. Put anything that hurts you in the fire physically, any body pain as you're breathing, any physical, any emotional, psychological, angst, anxiety, depression, fear, lack, insecurity, not enough. Like you'd see something burn, like if you put a piece of paper into the fire, see that burn. And breathe deeply. And take your time with that pause on the out breath as you breathe in again and let yourself relax more. When we're present, we put less stress on the physical body. The body doesn't have to work as hard to try to keep you safe. Here you are, not using your physical body much, except for relaxing and breathing. We're going the other way. So if you went out of the space and into your normal day, you tighten up. There's distractions everywhere. Breathe. As we're aware and we watch that which we're trying to resolve, go into this fire and just go and be the fire. Strong, like mountain strong, strong, even through the process of leaving this place, which just happens at the moment of birth. Breathe. Moment of birth. And from that moment, so we hum. So if you could hum, you'll feel like you can sing. Everybody can make a sound. Mhm. Feel the sound in your throat. Hey. Mm. as we're very present here with our loved ones who we brought into our circle. And then we have the second circle here, very present as we're breathing into our heart spaces. Notice yourself. Notice the pull. Notice any kind of pull, any kind of move, energy arising, any kind of movement to make you move any kind of way, back or forward, sideways. We're looking around here in our space, seeing each other. We're all smiling at each other, thanking each other with our hearts. And every breath we take, there's no need to thank, because you are the thank, the living prayer, the poetry that will never be spoken. So don't try, because you're beautiful the way you are. You see, with all the grotesque and the angelic qualities, it's all the same. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to attain. Here we are breathing. You're just breathing. Look around us right now. You with that one eye, like you have the two physical eyes here in the space, because you do. It's just one eye, the all-seeing eye. That's how we created creation. Here we are, creating more creation, creating more space for ourselves. As mass consciousness tightens up their space, here we are creating more space for ourselves, a different type of space, expansive, expasive. We're not going away from ourselves. We're not going away. We're embracing right now everything of who we are as we're just breathing. This is it. You're it. This is it. This is what you came for. Is that all right? Is everything going okay with you? With the non-okayness that perhaps is really awful. You came to this space and you're not so okay. Thank you for being here. Here you are. This is it. So all you'll ever be. Breathe. We needed to come here in the circle because really, it'd be nice to have somebody come to our front door and say, wow, thank you so much for doing what you have done. It's hard for some of us. Some of us will never cry the cry that you really want to do because the pain is so hard as we're breathing. Be here. You just won't ever see it. But we see it. That's okay. Nothing to do about that. There's nothing to do. That's why we invented the word boredom. So we just allow it to be. And this is it right here. This is it. So as we breathe, we're looking around at each other. You might notice some qualities of each other that you never noticed before. So maybe some of you have met in person or have been in chat spaces or other formats together, and you're seeing other things about each other in the space you've never seen before about yourself. Breathe. This is what the whole world is doing right now. They're just breathing. If you didn't have one of your senses of hearing, you wouldn't hear the rest of the noise out there. You just know that we're just breathing. And so we bow to the trees. Like we bow to ourselves. Essentially, that's what we're doing here. As we bow to our friends and our loved one we brought into the space, those dear ones, or the aspects that you brought in. Perhaps you don't have that outside person, no right or wrong, and you brought that into this space. You bow. Thank you for being here with me because it's been lonely. It's a part of the human condition to be lonely. We're strong like a mountain. Strong. You notice our space here. Nothing can come in. It's a precision, like diamond precision. As you're breathing and being, not waiting for the next information to be said, not anticipating, efforting, despising, encouraging. No anticipation. This movement without anticipation is foreign to us as up to this point. As we move more into this new type of human being, new way of being, really the human, and move out of that doing so much with that awareness. And we breathe. Sometimes during the day, you remember your breath. You go about your business. You leave the session. You can have a choice to come back because they'll be on the YouTube channel. And you'll go into your business and you may remember the breath. Like, oh, I'm breathing. Oh, okay. And that awareness, action without effort, calms you down. Eventually, sometimes it can be really harsh. The first thing they do is calm you down when there's an accident scene. They'll make sure that you're calm because you can die of shock. Heart pump is a pump. Everybody dies of shock. But at that time, you maybe not be ready for doing that. And so you would like them to calm you down. Nothing better to do but to breathe. There's nothing better to do but to breathe. That sounds like a good song to sing. There's nothing better to do but to breathe. Ooh, ah, 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 oh, eh. Ooh, eh, wee, ooh, shh, eh. Thank you for being. We are, as we always were, together. But this time we're aware that we're together and your friends are in this space. And some of them may be aware of this. Some of them maybe wanted to have joined and they couldn't. So here you had the opportunity to bring them in. So it all worked out. This is how it works. You're psychic. Even though Muriel can manage to put her underwear on backwards at the beginning of a day. Because if she's psychic, you figure you can put the underwear on the correct way. She'd know that. It's one of those episodes in everyday life we take advantage of when we leave this realm, putting your underwear on backwards and laughing at yourself. You know those things you could just laugh at yourself about? Remember that? They may have forgotten to do that. It got so dull and boring because this place is just a realm of boring. The old man is snoring. Cleaning the oxygen, cleaning yourself right now. The parts in which no physical can do. So we do it with our consciousness, the very thing we forgot. It's just a remembering So we don't learn anything in these spaces, and there's nothing to get. There's no energy here for you. There's no quotes, wisdom that you need to stash in your pocket for when you need it to pull it out later on because you forgot to breathe. And that was the quote that you needed. Remember who you are. And that remembering will go on for as long as you're needed to for you. It's not a group remembering. Humanity is not doing this together. That's why it's noisy and these spaces are provided for you. And thank you for being here. As you breathe. You could say we're building a pond. And only those with the sense knows that it's happening. And you don't need to bring anybody along. We only brought the one that is kind of helping us not be so lonely into the circle for a reason today for this one. This one's important. As we're breathing, connected, even if you're feeling anxiety or tension, that's okay. Be with it. Maybe it maybe this is making it more heightened, you more even more of a hyper awareness to it. The anxiety or tension or anything that's rising, be with it and breathe with trust. Those of you who have come to these spaces have done the letting go of the letting go, the stronghold over mass consciousness. So you loosened up the energetics a little bit. So thank you. Because the tighter you hold on, the tighter it resists. Perhaps you don't know where to go. Perhaps you don't know what to do with yourself. Perhaps you're scared of where your life's going to go, what's going to happen to you. Know this, dearest one. Everybody dies successfully. It's this. This is why we provide these sessions. Because as we move through more of the chaotic energetics that are arising with those who continue to be unaware of their consciousness, you're going to get a little bit more sensitive. You plan on staying. Again, those words are used loosely because you don't go anywhere. So don't think I don't want to get here. You have this thing, oh, once I get out, that's it. No, there's no getting out. Truly there. There's no need to have to say anything or prove anything to yourself after that. You just understand the conditional state of this place. And nothing gets out from what you consider alive. Because nothing gets out. So we just become aware that we're all in this together. And that's why we're bringing our friends in today. And with your intention, bless your hearts, may not be resolved. Are you okay with that? A question to ask yourself as you breathe. We're not putting our minds in the trash. We love our minds. Thank you, mind. Thank you, brain. Our brains, our lower minds. Yes, thank you. Breathe. The brain doesn't breathe. It needs you to breathe to give it oxygen. And then you can think better. And then you can ask better questions, more precise. Or perhaps you can have an agreement and it just gets quiet. As you hear slightly in the background your mind chatter that never shuts up until the day you die, and even then it may continue. Know this, you're in a conditional state. And there's no going back. It's not like you can crawl back into your mom's wound. You don't want to do that anyway. So here we are. Now, in the doing world, they ask you questions of like, how are you doing? Or what are you doing with your life? Where are you going? It's the what, when, where, how, why. And then it gets bored to those who've come home to themselves in the state of being because you really don't need to, you don't answer those questions anymore. So the conversations change, breathe. Things get a little bit more quiet and then it gets boring. So you have all these different states and conditional ways. So this is what we do. We're just breathing through it. You can look back and say, hey, at the end of this life, I breathed through that in which my mind was trying to create something of. Congratulations, me. I like to pat myself, Muriel here. I like to pat myself on my shoulder every now and then. Good job, Muriel. Good job. It makes me feel better. Anyway, back to this. Ah, thank goodness we got that out of the way. Now we can just simply slip into our day or our evenings and be a little bit more present and know that even everything that you brought into the space and that was happening before it may still be a little present. So as we end the session today, you may have wanted us to finish that like we're going to continue on saying something, like finish, and we wanted to trail off with just the breath. No more words, except for these. Let us get up where we are in our space there. Do what you need to do with the fire, whatever you're doing in this space. And if you could, we're all just going to kind of walk around the fire clockwise. So where the clock is at 12, we're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, that direction. Okay? So all our medicine people and wonderful beings of light that have joined our space today. We're all going to follow them. Okay, so we're going to walk around the fire, and then as we do one full walk around, just walk with them, behind them, and join the walk as we go. Okay, breathe.